Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a mechanical engineer at Dyson, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle-free turbine tool. Now it looks fairly simple, but by getting the parts off, taking out a few screws, we're going to see that it's actually quite complicated on the inside. First thing you're going to need is a coin. And just next to this turbine here, we've got a small pivot point just there. Insert it just under that pivot point and gently pry away to separate that top part. Do the same thing on the other side, and this top grey piece lifts away. That might be a little bit tricky. Feel free to get stuck in. These parts are pretty tough. You're not going to break them. You just need to get that first grey part off. We've then got another pivot joint on this lower grey part. We're going to do exactly the same thing. And take our coin, put it just behind there, gently pry until it comes away. At that point, on this side, you'll see a tiny little bit of steel, and that actually functions as a spring to load that sole plate up. Next thing we're going to do is take a T8 screwdriver and remove 1, 2, 3, 4 screws from the top of the tool. When you have those out, just pop them in a safe place to one side. Once you've removed those 4 screws, 2 halves of this tool should just gently pull apart. You've now got a top plastic piece which holds this thin filter material, and then you've got the rest of the assembly, and now you can see the red spinning turbine. We're going to turn this tool over now onto its back, and we're going to find 2 more screws. One in the middle here, one on the outside edge there. And we're going to remove those as well. And again, put those 2 screws in a safe place. And they're a little bit shorter, so put them separately. Now, you can separate those 2 halves of our gear train, leaving us with 2 large gears that spin the paddles and the rest of the gear assembly from the turbine. Be a little bit careful with that, because this grey gear really wants to come off and never be found again. So if it's helpful, pop that to one side as well. The final screw we're going to take off is on our grey turbine assembly just here. Place that to one side. Now we're going to gently pull these 2 pieces apart. You can see in here we've got a raised bit of plastic. We call that a screw boss. It provides the material for that screw to hold the whole thing together. Now we can go one step further and remove these bristle heads. So you're going to want a Phillips screwdriver, that's the sort of cross point one. You need to hold the bristle head still and unscrew that large Phillips head screw. And then you can remove that paddle. And look at how the underside has been constructed so that I can't put it on the wrong way round. I can only get it on in the right position there. All you've got to do now is figure out how to put it back together.